6'5", number 5, Pentavious Caldwell Pope. From Oak Hill Academy in Virginia, this guard stands 6'1", feet piston 7, Brandon Jennings. From Georgetown, the 6'11" forward, say hello again to piston 10, Greg the Goose Monroe. From Oak Hill Academy in Virginia, this forward stands 6'9" with a power lift. Piston 6, Josh Smith. Numero 0, the center at 6'11" out of UConn. Having big fun around the rim, this is Andre Drummond. Stan Van Gundy is former head coach.
And you've got it on 2K Sports for Wednesday night action in the NBA. Hi, everyone. Kevin Harlan joined by Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. Last outing for Phoenix, they won that game against the Celtics.
And I think, Kevin, it really showed how important it is to have a strong bench performance. You go out on the road, you can't rely on your starters night in and night out. The reserves have to contribute and help them out.
I think we definitely saw that, Steve, throughout the game. They were really tied together as a team. Didn't make any difference who was out on the floor. You'll take every road game win you can, and they're happy with that one.
So the opening lineup for the Suns. Inside, it's Morris and Plumlee. Bledsoe is out there with Dragic, and it's Green in at the 3 slot. Now here's Dragic, and Plumlee kicks to Bledsoe, takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely.
You know, something we're seeing less and less of these days, that little finger roll.
Well, for the Suns, a smaller backcourt with Eric Bledsoe and Goran Dragic playing together, but, you know, they'll mix it up depending on matchups. They've had tremendous success playing those two guys together because both have old school guard skills. They can handle it, they can create, they can get to the rim, and they can knock down jumpers.
Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far. And that one's good.
And he will take the ball right into the teeth of the defense.
Jennings with the ball. 11 points for him in that last game against Orlando.
Yeah, no question. You look at his assist totals, and they tell you what a nice job he was doing, really spreading that ball around.
Green, the pass to Dragic, and stolen by Jennings. Monroe outside. Plumlee with the steal. Morris inside. He's guarded by Jennings.
Well, he recognized the advantage size-wise, and he went right at the defender. That's how you do it.
The Pistons have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Here's Caldwell Pope, and it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shots. You would think that a team like the Pistons, as far as struggled as they did, would have trouble with teams out west, but they really held their own.
You know, that was surprising. They weren't exactly taking the conference by storm, but they definitely were able to knock off a few of the powerhouses out there.
And to go back to what you said with the Pistons, they had a bad record against the West, but a lot of those games were close.
Bledsoe dishes to Plumlee. Out of bounds, Detroit takes possession.
I tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
And about 2 minutes played here in the first quarter.
For a team like the Pistons that wasn't going to make a lot of noise last year in terms of competing, I think it's a good sign that they did have some tough games against some of the Western Conference opponents where they did compete at a playoff type run. How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
Suns have gotten their first 3 shots to go in for him to start off this game. Dragic with a wide open look. Another shot. The shot's good from Plumlee. Plumlee's got his first points of the game.
Another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively so far.
Yeah, I think that could really set things up well the rest of the game. Pound the ball inside and let your perimeter players play off your bigs.
The Suns have gone 4 of 5 from the field so far. Pass to Green. That's in, coming off an assist from Dragic. Guys back and forth this first half.
Well, 5 lead changes early on, guys, as we grapple back and forth.
Yeah, this could be a back and forth game all the way, guys, the way it's being played. This is fun to watch.
Drummond. Plumlee with the rebound.
Well, one of his issues is he's a player that just does not excel at fighting through contact on his way to the rim.
And it's Dragic off the drive. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
You know, before this recent streak, the last time the Suns went more than a season without making the playoffs was way back in 1988. Think just how long it's been for them not to be in the playoffs in more than a year. Wow, impressive.
This streak of the Suns missing the playoffs, of course, starting back in 2010, but 1988, a good deal of the Suns roster wasn't even born then.
Clark, you look at last season with the Suns, they almost put an end to that streak last year, but ended 1 game shy of the playoffs and back of Dallas for number 8 in the West.
Right in the mix until the final week, Kevin. They won't have the luxury of being slept on this year, though, as the league is fully aware of how capable that group is.
D there, guys, was pretty much non-existent. I mean, you can't leave a good shooter like that open.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
I briefly spoke with Jeff Hornacek. We discussed their game plan defensively, and he mentioned that controlling Greg Monroe will be crucial. He said Monroe is a guy who can score inside, rebounds well, and his passing really sets him apart. Their offense runs best when it goes through his hands, so pressuring him and staying vigilant is essential for us. Guys, can they slow him down?
All right, Doris, thanks. What an asset to a team when you've got big men who can knock down free throws. Look here at the top centers and power forwards in terms of free throw percentage this season. Here's Dragic. 11 points for him in that last game against the Celtics in Boston.
It wasn't just offense either, Kevin, and he was so disruptive defensively. I don't remember how many steals he had, but, man, he was dominant out there.
Now here's Bledsoe. Suns moving the ball around. Morris kicks to Plumlee. Misses the baby hook. Detroit's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Drummond passes to Smith. Smith right side. And he drops in the layup off the glass. And that makes it a tie ball game.
What an impossible shot to block in the post. The defender, giving up so much size, there's no way he's going to get a hand on it.
Up top, Bledsoe. A 20-point game for him in the win against the Celtics in Boston. Into Green. It's Drummond with the rebound. For Detroit, they've gone 6 of 9, shooting it well. Jennings dishes to Smith. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Josh Smith signed by the Pistons last year to that big 4-year, $54 million contract. The fit was problematic, particularly on the front line, trying to play next to Andre Drummond and Greg Monroe. I think it's important for Smith to have shooting around him. Otherwise, teams just sag off and they take away his driving lanes.
The Pistons making a change here. Butler's checked in. In low to Monroe. It's stolen by Morris. Now here's Dragic. He's tightly guarded. And he gets it to go. Green's got his second bucket of the night.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Yeah, absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding. They are piling up the assists.
And the Pistons making a change here. Augustine's checked in. Jennings against Dragic. And the shot is good. And it's 6 points for Brandon Jennings.
The lead changes hands once again. There has been no separation between these two teams tonight.
What an intriguing basketball game, that's for sure.
Now here's Dragic looking for his first basket still in this one. Inside, here's Morris, and he takes that one up and powers it through. Clarkie talked about a back-and-forth game. This is the definition of that.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Kevin. I mean, not even through the first half, and it's been one heck of a battle.
Well, these are the kinds of games you love. I mean, two good teams going head-to-head, an even matchup, and both sides very competitive, on their toes tonight.
And that one's good. Smith's got 5.
Easy little jump shot for him right there, guys.
For Phoenix, they've gotten 8 of their 13 shots to find the bottom of the bucket. Morris, and down it goes. Dunked through off a wonderful assist.
Everybody on the floor is hot. Incredible stuff here in the early stages.
Tell you what, both teams playing downhill. Who's going to blink first?
Now here's Butler. His last outing, he had 8 points. Smith inside. He's against Morris, and that one's good. And that's now 7 points for Smith.
You know, that's been a big part of their offense in the early stages. I mean, their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range, right at the rim.
And I would continue to do it. You know, force the defense to maybe send a double team. Now you've got other options to work with offensively. Well, he wasn't phased at all by the bigger man on him. And on the low block, I thought he might be.
You know, Steve, I thought maybe he'd prefer to bring him out to the perimeter, but whatever works, go to it.
And he was one step ahead of the defense when he fired that pass for the assist.
And first time out of the game called for Phoenix.
Well, the Pistons' acquisition of Josh Smith last season put Greg Monroe in a tight spot. Both players, natural power forwards, neither one of them floor spacers, so it really was not a good fit, and that showed in the Pistons' record.
And Phoenix making a change here. Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Markieff Morris. P.J. Tucker comes in for Gerald Green. Jordan Crawford's checked in for Eric Bledsoe. And Thomas subbed in for Goran Dragic.
The number of points they've scored in the paint already today is pretty eye-opening, Steve.
No, it's off the charts. It really is. And defensively, I mean, they have to start shutting down some of those lanes to the hoop.
Now here's Jennings. He's got 6. Right block shot, and it's finished off inside by Smith. Smith's got 9. And despite playing in one of the league's most dysfunctional offenses, Greg Monroe remained effective as a scorer, I thought, last season.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kevin. A slight downtick in his numbers, but not surprising given the circumstances you just highlighted. This guy's got a nice mid-range game and does a good job on the offensive glass, too.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint. I guess the good news is they've taken away the outside shot.
Well, you know what? It doesn't matter how good their perimeter defense is if they're going to allow inside looks as easy as that.
A different look here for Detroit. Urebko comes in for Josh Smith. And it's Jody Meeks in for Brandon Jennings. And Augustine kicks to Meeks. Shoots from 14, and the Pistons getting another bucket right there.
Looked like the defense kind of backed off him, and he took advantage.
The Suns trailing. Outside Thomas. Lots of room. And it's Phoenix scoring again.
The entire defense was frozen-footed. Nobody picked up the shooter, Kevin.
Detroit's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Here's Augustine. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Stolen away. Here's Thomas. Goes back up. Rebounded by the Pistons. They come into this one having outplayed the Magic last game.
You know, their shooting percentage in that game, you look at the box score, it was just off the charts. I watched the tape. It was mostly because their offensive execution was flawless.
Yeah, they did such a really nice job of moving the ball side to side, opened up the court for them. It makes it tough for the defense when you spread out and move the ball the way they did, and they got high-quality shots as a result.
Here's Tucker after Caron Butler's bucket. Tucker, the pass to Thomas. 4 on the shot clock. And that's collected by Butler.
That's kind of a shocker. The defense was there, but it wasn't right in his face. Kind of out of character for him to miss those.
He got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And a good game so far as we conclude the first quarter. The Pistons on top, leading by a point. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from the Palace of Auburn Hills.